Boom.
Boom. Here we are. Hey, you know what? As we get started, our little buddy, he's a daddy. So Jordan had his baby, Scotty Lee Creek, born January 5th. So congratulations, buddy. And to all 17 listeners, you guys have eagerly been awaiting this moment. It's here.
A day before the national holiday, January 6th.
Mike and I are both like choking on burping pickle juice at the moment.
It's pretty good, though. I like it.
It's delicious.
Shout out to Grillo's Pickles.
Do
you ever eat those pickles?
I think so.
They come in that plastic tub with a grape leaf
and
a bunch of garlic in them.
Yeah.
It's life-changing. I love me a pickle. Anything pickled, to be. Shut the fuck up. I love a pickle. Anything, though.
I've heard this about you. Yeah, listen, pickled carrots, pickled onions, pickled radishes. Beets. Dude, those are some of the best. Like, you want to talk about take your tacos from boring ass. It's Tuesday night. We're going to cook up some ground beef and refried beans and cheat, take the lazy store-bought pico de gallo and just throw it on there and call it taco night. You add some pickled veggies to your tacos, and then now we are into like the gourmet. Yeah. This is gourmet soccer dad status now.
Well, those pickled carrots and jalapenos.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fucking A.
You go to those taqueria places and they have a salsa bar with that stuff.
Yeah.
I'll fucking reap all their. We need another platter here.
Right.
You guys are out.
That's right.
It's pretty good. I like those. Well, Tobin, we're sitting here.
We're sitting here with Pop Culture Mike and the black hole of pop culture over here. I don't fucking know what's going on. Mike texted me. He's like, "Do you want a pod today?" And I was like, "Oh God, what happened? I was out in the woods all day."
Something big happened. Well, I guess we'll just lay it out. Yesterday, an ICE agent shot a lady in Minnesota.
Okay, so I did after we texted, I brushed up a little bit on that. Mm-hmm. So I am aware of the incident.
But just like anything, it's hard to know the facts. It's so current and
the reality of this. I was thinking about it driving here, is that the facts don't matter because the facts aren't the point. The point is that this is an inflammatory event, and while I don't think the specifics of this event were engineered, I do think the pressure cooker situation that led to this, like sooner or later, some event like this was going to happen, although nobody could predict the details. And now everybody has an excuse to go riot and burn shit down now.
I agree.
And it's twofold. It's to give one side the, oh my God, look what's happening in Minnesota. And it's to give the people in Minnesota a reason to go fucking bananas.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, Minnesota did pretty well in 2020 going nuts, so I imagine. The only thing, though, is they rioted last time in the summer. It's pretty hard to riot when it's 8 degrees in Minnesota, It just doesn't have the same effect, but We'll see. I think maybe this weekend would be when the festivities kick off, as one might say.
What were your... Oh, man.
Squeaker.
She's funny. What were your conspiracy theory thoughts when you first watched all this?
I don't have any conspiracy theory thoughts.
Next question.
Moving on. Yeah. Let's talk about whales. Yeah. I don't have conspiracy theory thoughts because, like I said, I think it's a little too soon to draw conclusions. You
don't think this is George Floyd 2.0?
I approach this at a different kind of an angle. And I started talking to Danielle about this last night, and we probably talked for maybe a half hour, 45 minutes.
Who talked?
Actually, it was a two-way street. It wasn't a one-way road. Yeah, right. It was actually a two-way street. This is
not a mic conversation.
Those are my favorite conversations. But this was actually a two-way. But the way I kind of approach this is I like to step back a little and say what led us here. Is kind of the way I've been approaching this whole situation. Like you said, I kind of think this is a powder keg that is eventually, it has to blow. But I needed to kind of go back and think about what's kind of happened over the past 10 years, pretty much, honestly, since Trump was elected. You know, Trump was kind of the catalyst for a tipping point, right? It seems like hope and change when we got Barack back in, when was that? 6, 7, 8,
right?
Yeah, somewhere around there. But when Trump became president, it was instantly divisive, and you know, good for, you know, I don't trust the left. I don't really trust the right. I'm kind of in my own little, I'm team people, pro humanity. But I think so many people will get caught up in the team of I'm this or I'm that. And looking back, it's like, all right, so when it really started to kick off for me is the COVID kind of thing, right? And when COVID happened, it seemed like everyone was pent up, and duly so. Especially if you live in the city, we're a little luckier where we have space, and they're like, stay at home. It's like, I got 5 acres, fine.
Roger.
Yeah, cool. I'll weed whack for the next 6 months, apparently. Yeah. But I think it makes it like people get cabin fever, and they're have a lot of angst. And when the George Floyd thing happened, I felt, to me, it was more egregious as a grappler to be like, oh my God, that's bad technique, you know? But I think the repercussions of the riots of 2020 for George Floyd had a very big impact on the nation, right? And not only the nation, but specifically in first responder type units and law enforcement. And when that happened, I mean, we saw the dismissal the resignation of a lot of police officers from the force. The fallout from that has been more crime, shittier response times.
Yeah, this is sort of where like defund the police came from.
Yes.
The George Floyd incident, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. And so since 2020, it's kind of felt like it's been nefarious in labeling cops bad, which, don't get me wrong, there's good cops and there's bad cops, just like anything in this world, there's good and bad. But it seemed like it was kind of okay to be like, police are bad, fuck the police, riot. It's kind of okay to cause chaos, civil unrest, and misery. And then, so like a fight, whenever one person starts to push, the reaction from the other side is to push back.
Every action has an equal and opposite reaction.
Yeah. And then, so it's like, all right, so it seems like there's tension between law enforcement and citizens. But then I think it's also like, it's enhanced by the fact that ICE is having to do, and I don't fully agree with all the stuff ICE does. It's crazy having masked people that you can't identify just swooping down on the street, snatching up citizens. Like, wow, that's kind of Gestapo-ish. Well, it is Gestapo-ish.
Yeah, let me say I am full anti-militarized police tactics. And my first thought when I watched the video of the shooting one time, and my first thought was that because I did embassy work a million years ago when I was working for the agency, we also had to, we didn't do full-on federal law enforcement training, but we did like an abridged version. Mm-hmm. So understanding what legally counts as a threat to life and limb. And so a vehicle is absolutely considered a deadly threat. So just watching that, I literally watched that video one time and I was like, well, you can absolutely articulate that the police officer near the front of the vehicle was in danger when whatever, I don't know what the fuck was going on, but the vehicle starts like jerking and like pulls forward really fast. If that's a roadblock in Iraq, whoever's driving that car is getting fucking smoked.
Yeah, they're getting smoked. Yeah.
Right? Also true. is that this isn't Iraq. This is a police enforcement action in the United States of America. And one of the things that really genuinely scares me is think about how police now look like assault troops, right? They're wearing assault body armor. The guy the officer who did the shooting was wearing a battle belt and no shit assault kit, which has a psychological effect on the man wearing it.
Yeah.
Right? The guys who wear this shit and seek out these jobs, they like dressing like a Delta Force operator and pretending that they're an action guy with their Oakleys and their tight t-shirts. And you know what I mean? Like it's a whole fucking persona that they enjoy. They are looking for an excuse to quote unquote get it on.
Yeah.
So, and that is not how law enforcement is supposed to act on home soil.
And it makes it more difficult too, because it's like, well, if you look at what happened post Trump from 16 to 20, and then the Biden administration kicks in, the amount of people that came across the southern border, right? Not legally, like the amount of migrants and people coming through, it's like, in my head, when Trump became president and he's like, oh, we're going to close the border and we're going to get rid of them. In my head, it's like, well, something bad is going to happen. You can't have this many people in the United States and be like, oh, we're going to get rid of all the illegals and it's going to go flawlessly.
Yeah. But sorry, I'm just sitting here thinking.
Yeah.
Also true. Why is this woman fucking around in an ICE roadblock full of armed agents? Like, what was she doing? Does anybody know?
Well, apparently today, it's a friend or something, or they said her wife, or I don't know. Someone said, or some lady saying she brought this lady with her, and that it was her intent to go to and find ICE agents or to block this.
Were they just passing through, or was this like an intentional confrontation?
Driving home on the way, I heard that she wasn't even from Minnesota.
Oh, so is this someone who intentionally went to start some shit?
Yeah. And like I said, we're still finding things out. Okay. So it's like we're taking all these things in. But like I said, having that many people come through the border, and then the next administration is like, we're tough on the border and we're going to get rid of all the illegals, the people that came over. It's like, well, eventually something bad is going to happen from these consequences.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm purely speculating here, but it would make a lot of sense if she was some sort of agitator who came from somewhere else specifically to pick a fight with these guys.
Well, and that's what
I don't feel like she's just heading. If she was just heading home and ended up in a nice roadblock, that's kind of when you go, oh shoot, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Not where I meant to be today.
Well, and that's kind of where I'm going with, like, I got to think back of like these events of 2020 and then like the George Floyd riots, and then Trump comes in, he's like, oh, we're securing the southern border and ICE is going to get rid of all the illegals. And
so we're in agreement that George Soros coordinated this whole thing.
Most likely, yes. I think so. But
all right, good night, everybody.
Yeah, that's the pod. We don't have much time on the SD card. Yeah. But in doing that, it seems kind of like this stuff, each side is getting more and more traction towards what they feel is right. Like, okay, so George Floyd happens, and then it's like, okay, cops are bad. Innocent people black people are being murdered left and right. And then it goes, okay, so now we're rioting. And it goes, this is for freedom for the people speaking their mind. And then the far right, Law and Order, goes, hey, we need to secure safety in this country, so now we have to push back more on rioters. And then the left goes, oh, they're pushing back. And so now ICE is nabbing people from the streets, and people are going, you know what? We have to get in and intervene and block this stuff. And now the right's going, oh, now we need to really start stepping it up and getting people away from this.
The reality is both sides, the optics of this are good for both sides.
Yes.
This is not a one-sided event where one side's been held down and the other's been elevated. Both sides, like what I'm saying is that the situations that create these events are engineered, because this is fantastic for the divide and conquer fucking tactic.
But not even
because both sides are going to take this one and run with it.
Oh, absolutely.
Already are.
Because they feel they're right. Each side feels like,
oh,
we're doing the righteousness
program that divides people, the othering, that gets everybody fighting.
Yeah.
Keeps them fighting.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I feel like there's a perpetuation of this that, like, it just keeps jacking the other side up. You know, each side keeps rallying the other side up. And
will you slide the pickle juice down the table? Oh, almost salty.
Yeah, so it to me, I have to kind of think back of like,
I don't know that I can ever drink beer without this.
It's pretty good, dude. Yeah, it's really good. But it seems like each side is grabbing more like land to say I'm right here, and I don't know like how it stops. Like, I think back of when times used to be normal. Okay, think 1992. If there was a federal operation going on,
you didn't know about it. You heard about it 6 months. Think like Ruby Ridge.
Yeah,
you heard about it when it was over.
Yeah,
pretty much. Or there'd be like some breaking news ticker tape thing that CNN is on site and there's a standoff, but nobody really knew it was going on until afterwards.
Or think Rodney King. Like, Rodney King created...
We saw that in real time.
Exactly, though. But that created the...
That might have been the first... Oh, shit. That might have been George Floyd 1.0.
Yeah. But when Rodney King happened, we had the LA riots, and it was chaos in LA in 91. But it kind of it lasted for a little bit, but then it ended. And if, say, there was more cops going into LA after that, say 92, 93, and they're like, oh, we're going to go, I don't know, we're not blockbusting, but like
knee busting.
Yeah, pretty much. But we're going to patrol an area.
Yeah, they would
you like imagine all these white people from Glendale coming in and driving in front of police or federal officers, and everyone's like, terrific. You know, it's like... And that's what I mean. The other side keeps pushing the other side on. And you see this lady get shot in the face because it's like each side says what I'm doing is okay. And the agitation keeps boiling up and boiling up. And I felt like this was an inevitability that would eventually happen. And yesterday was the day that it happened. So once that happens, now where does that pushing go? Does that pushing start to go? And I'm so surprised since the riots of 2020, like I figured seeing all those cops like pushing people, and it got horrible. You saw like old people protesting like in walkers, and the police are like, move back, and and they're tear gassing, and now the cops are running down the street pushing the rioters back. They're pushing the line, and they're beating old people, and press is getting fucked with. And I thought, when is someone on the left just going to grab an AR and start shooting? That was my biggest fear of that time. And it, like, 2020 kind of calmed down, and the riots eventually fizzled out in the fall when the leaves started to turn. But then this kind of feels like that same, like, ignition is happening again. And so, okay, so now we're shooting people. No one got shot really by cops during 2020, except January 6th. But
except for a white girl who was shot by a cop.
That lady.
Da-dum-da-dum-bum.
But so it's like, to me, when does it really start to turn violent, these things? Because the left sees the protests as like, this is what has to happen. And the right sees as we have to squash them. So at a certain point, you can talk, say you're in a bar and you start arguing. You can yell and yell and yell, but eventually someone's going to take the first swing. It kind of feels like maybe in this cultural shift or this like this chaos, ice took that first swing. Now you can either get hit and fall down and run away, or you can get hit, fall down, stand up, and start swinging again. And that's kind of my biggest fear, is that people are really going to start swinging on the left. Because all this is war. This is jujitsu.
I think the idea is to create fear of the other, right? So that we're supposed to think that Antifa is going to go to the suburbs, and they're supposed to think that they're going to get gunned down by the SWAT team any day. And it keeps everybody in. So it's something fascinating. I've been practicing as I'm going through all my spirity woo-woo stuff. Yeah, speaking of spirity woo-woo stuff, pass me another one of them grass-fed Coors Lights, please. Is how to separate your nervous system from your mind internally. And if you think about it, like when you read these headlines, like whatever, like ICE agent shoots woman in Minneapolis, and your mind immediately snaps to like riots and civil unrest, and oh fuck, they're going to use this to fuel the fire. What does that do to your nervous system? It causes your body to kind of like clench up, like your muscle tension like increases, right? But the entire thing was created by a story your mind came up with of events that could possibly, like, these events haven't even come to pass, but our minds sort of create these worst case scenarios, which then causes our bodies to tense up. And the whole way I sort of like stumbled onto this was, or I shouldn't say I stumbled onto this, like all the gurus and shamans, whatever you want to call these people, they know this, but I discovered it for myself on accident, because until you feel these things, you don't believe they're real. You have to experience them. I had this whole story in my mind where Christy and I had gone to visit Tyler, and we have this new baby wolf, Anya, right? And so we took her with us, and Tyler has this massive Malamute. He's like 130-pound giant Malamute, and he's dog. Yeah, he's super friendly to people, but we weren't sure how he would be to the new puppy. So we're kind of like playing it like cool, and he was like super like aggressive and lunging at her and whatnot, but he was just trying to lick her and play. Right. Yeah. But also he's big enough that he could kill her by playing with her.
Liquid right? Fuck your dog up.
Exactly. So I'm sort of like jostling between the puppy and the giant Malamute, trying to like kind of let him play with her, but also make sure she doesn't get killed. But then I went home that night, and in my mind I had this whole like situation play out where he had, instead of lunging at her and licking at her, he had lunged at her and bit at her. And like bit her on the back of the neck. And then I had fucking jumped on top of him, pulled out my bullshit Gerber like multi-tool pocket knife, and fucking stabbed this dog to save my puppy. And I played out this whole scenario in my mind. And then I realized, like, as I got to the end, that I'm laying there and I'm like, I got my fucking fists clenched up and my arms are tight and my shoulder and my neck and everything. I was like, what the fuck? Something that's completely untrue, that never happened, that I completely played out inside my head, caused my body doesn't know the difference. No. Your nervous system does not know the difference between a fake story in your mind and something that actually happened. Like, my body is reacting to this as though this actually happened to me today. Yeah. And so I think one of the ways in which we are controlled through media, legacy media, and new form social media, is you are shown things like this that immediately send you into like a spiral of worst case scenarios, which cause your nervous system to go into fight or flight. And it doesn't fucking know that it's in fight or flight because of an Instagram post.
Yeah.
All it knows,
chaos. It's seeing
this is your inner caveman being like, oh fuck, we're in danger.
Yeah. Yes.
And that is why social engineering is so effective.
Yes. But also I think, as humans, we have a unique ability to have imagination.
But also pickle juice and beer is fucking fantastic.
True. But as human beings, we have a unique ability to have an imagination. And imagination can lead you to think about possibilities.
Yeah, imagination can be wonderful. What I'm saying is, like, I guess anytime you're presented with these sort of sensationalized national media stories that are very clearly meant to, at this point, even if people don't understand the mechanism of how population is controlled, we're all sort of in agreement that population is being controlled through these media outlets. And this, I think this is the mechanism. They can start paying attention to what your body does when you read a news flash or a Instagram post or a YouTube fucking thing, and see, like, does your body relax throughout the entire time? Or as you read or as you pay attention to the scrolling fucking feed, do you start to clench up and tense up? Because if you are, then you are allowing your Black Mirror there, your iPhone, to put you into fight or flight, like real fight or flight.
Samsung guy over here, but no big deal. Yes, but
Do your parents know you're gay?
dude, it's not gay. Samsung's awesome. Yes, but I would have to think that, like, media does have a narrative it wants to present, because, like they've always said, if it bleeds, it leads. And that does kind of...
Because that activates fight or flight.
And that can frame a narrative, and that can help produce clicks, views, which equals monetization, which equals money. But also at the same time, events do happen, right? And certain events do change the world, right? So it's like, think about Poland in the late 30s, right? There's a lot of rhetoric of what's going on with Germany, and like, oh, it seems like they're huffing and they're puffing, and they're starting to kind of get a little nutty, those boys in those sweet Hugo Boss suits. But eventually it does lead to something of chaos, you know? And I think that's what's interesting about humans is it does make us feel that, right? But that can be like, oh shit, that makes me angry. This is something that maybe shouldn't happen, right? It starts to make you analyze what's happening in the world around you. You can have, like I said, we don't know the facts yet. And like, I could just be like, oh, this fucking lady, she was interfering with an ICE operation. She deserves to get what she got.
Blast her.
Or I could be like, this ICE agent's out of control and they're just shooting people willy-nilly. Yeah. But if I take a step back and think about it from both sides, it makes me think like outside the box, take a step back and think like, this is a keg that just keeps going and going. Yeah. And it doesn't seem to have a temperature that's cooling off. The temperature seems to be heating up. So yes, there can be a narrative, but also at the same time, actions are happening. The world is changing. Teams are starting to like pick their own. People are starting to pick their team. And at what point do things start to happen enough where people are like, all right, I'm ready to fight for my team? What point does, like I said, at what point does someone start picking up a gun and they're like, hey, we got 5 trained dudes, or, well, the left right doesn't have 5 trained dudes.
Don't hang on a minute.
No, but you know what I mean? Like, at what point does, like, look at all these,
don't tell them our plans, Mike.
No, not our plan. My plan is to hide in the hole. I'm doing the ostrich effect, dude. I got like 6.
I've already enacted my plan. I just disappear into the woods and don't look at my phone.
Yeah, but I mean, I think that's the right move. But at what point, like, the Civil War ended up happening, right? Yeah. And so it got enough people rallied up that they would fight for it. The Revolutionary War happened. Half of America wanted it. Half of America didn't want it.
So less than, didn't 1% of colonists believe in the...
I think it was kind of more 50-50. Thanks, Ken Burns' documentary.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I downloaded the app I have not watched yet.
You can just watch it on YouTube.
Really?
Yeah, well, PBS has a YouTube
I
channel.
have the PBS app now. So suck it.
But at what point does it start to like really get chaotic? And that's what I mean. Like, human beings are interesting. We can start to like, what happens if this happens? What happens if that happens? Yes, it may make you clench, but there are certain moments throughout history in which you should clench. And that sometimes...
Oh, it's been said many times in this podcast studio.
Yeah. But this might be the biggest clench ever.
No, I disagree. You shouldn't. Oh God, how do I say this? One of the most important things anybody can do for themselves is understand how to relax their nervous system at will. Because a clenched nervous system never leads to good decision making. It leads to flawed fight or flight decision making. And that's, at the end of the day, everything that like Christy and I have been learning and that we're now teaching through our grounding method business and what we do in these plant medicine ceremonies is teaching people how to actively be aware of their nervous system and be in control of it. Because when you take over control of your own sensor array, you become the master of your own ship. That is how I arrived at the I am sovereign and you can't fuck with me. Because I am, my iPhone can no longer, like,
you are sovereign, but there are things that can still fuck with you. If people come for your children, it will fuck with you.
No, it doesn't. I understand my reactions, but I am in 100%. I agree. I'm going to have a violent reaction.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's me choosing that. It's no
Yes,
longer
yes.
a fight or flight. It's
Right.
now I am 100% in control. Everything is a conscious choice.
But that clenching is
That's how everybody should know I fucking mean it.
But think about jujitsu. I can't say jujitsu. Jiu-jitsu.
Brazilian?
Yeah, yes. But that stresses your nervous system. When you have people coming for you and strangling you, you're stressing your system, right?
Cold plunge, same thing. Like it puts you in a real deal fighter. When you jump into like a ice tank, your body does not know that it's in a fucking bathtub in a gym.
Yeah.
It thinks through the ice into a frozen lake, and it has however many thousand years of DNA telling us that's fucking dangerous. Those alarm bells are going off in your ears, telling you got to get the fuck out.
Yeah.
And actually, you're just in a cold bath at the jiu-jitsu gym.
Yeah. But at the same time, you're learning to manage that.
Yes, agreed.
You're learning to have pressure put upon you and try and stay calm in a heightened state.
Right. So what I'm saying is that we're kind of saying the same thing, which is that when somebody, like, who puts your feed in front of you? We don't fucking know. Nobody listening to this can say what algorithm, what AI is picking the feed that goes across their Instagram or their fucking TikTok or their YouTube or whatever it is. We just sort of randomly accept these things that they're put in front of our awareness. And so, the ice bath is, I forgot where I was going with that. But becoming aware of how you react to that feed or to whatever experience comes your way. It could be your wife or your kids or something. Yeah. How you allow your nervous, like, first you have to become aware. You have to see your nervous system change states. Like I said, it was eye-opening when I saw my nervous system go from relaxed to clenched because of a story I made up. And understand that my body does not know the difference between real and story. It just knows threat, right?
Yeah.
But if I can do that, then the opposite is also true. I can also catch it in the act and return it to calm.
Yes.
And so that was like the key of that's like the key of liberating yourself.
But these things, yes, you don't know who's throwing these things in front of you, but certain things are still really happening. It doesn't matter
these events are happening.
Yes.
What I'm saying, and I get that one or two people doing this doesn't make a difference.
No.
But
as a mass collective,
as a culture and a society where we need to get to, like, we need to be teaching our kids how to witness their own emotions and their reactions to them so that they can become the masters of themselves. And then we could avoid all of this shit in the long run. And the reality of all of this sort of political and social engineering is it is all designed to activate your nervous system. Because when you are in an activated nervous system, now you're in fight or flight. Now you're not thinking. Now you're not clear. Now you just do dumb shit. You make stupid reactions. You know what I mean? Like, and it's not nobody's going to have a well thought out, or I shouldn't say nobody. A lot of people will have well thought out, but a lot of the population right now is having a fear reaction. They're like, oh, fuck, here we go. I got to buy. I've been guilty of it. You've been guilty of it. I got to go buy another 1,000 rounds because here it comes.
All it needs one.
Yeah. Yeah. One shot, one kill.
Yeah. I mean, it does. I mean, things do heighten you, which is, I mean, that's that's human preservation. Self-preservation.
And I'm not saying we should not train in the arts of war.
Yes.
Like every man should be a warrior so that when danger is real. Here's an interesting quote. Danger is real, fear is not. Think about that one while you fall asleep tonight.
Yeah.
But so that when danger does arrive, every man should be capable of handling it.
Yeah. Well, I think, life is about doing extremes. I think you go full on for me, it's like, go that warrior route, do jiu-jitsu, do MMA, be proficient in protecting yourself and the ones around you. But then on the opposite end of the spectrum, life is about being the Buddha, as much as you can. What that does is it gives you the balance of both
That's
sides.
That's the guy in the Panda Express sign.
I got it in a fortune cookie. But it's about kind of that mitigation of learning. If you can learn what hot is and you learn what cold is, you understand warm is pretty nice in the middle,
right in the middle. Yeah,
but when you know what warm is, then when things either start to cool down or heat up, you're instantly in tune with being like, shit, the flow is out of balance. Something is off here. And once again, just like when the Charlie Kirk thing happens or the fucking COVID happens, you don't know, we all said it. I don't know what's really happening, but something is off. Your spidey senses feel a little fucked over. Yeah. And this is another one of those times, and it's not like I'm watching my phone going like, it's going to happen. But it's like, shit, this is just another one of those things that adds to it. This is what Poland must have felt like in the 30s. This is what it must have felt like when you had hordes coming over when Genghis Khan was running, This has happened throughout history. And like I said, human beings have a very good imagination. And yes, that imagination can either destroy you or it can also help you. That imagination of understanding how bad can be, and it's like prepare, understand how good can be, and be like, enjoy the present moment. I just feel like it's this America right now is a slow burn into whatever we're going into next.
Yeah, but also we're also spending so much time right here talking about future events that may never come to pass. Most likely won't come to pass. Have you read? Okay, hang on. Current read right now.
Yeah.
Eckhart Tolle's Power of Now. Have you read this?
I know
Holy
Eckhart Tolle.
Fuck. So, because the present is all that exists, right? Because we've covered this. When will the future be here? Now. How about now? It's always now. Anything that pulls your attention. So it's impossible for your mind to be in the future or the past, but we are constantly attempting to do that because we are constantly dwelling on old shit and fretting about future events that may never come to pass. So our attention is robbed away from the now, the present, into these future and past constructs that, yes, the past did happen. The future will come. However, right now, there ain't a fucking thing you can do about the future, and there ain't a fucking thing you can do about the past. You can only be present in this moment. He gives you, he's like, don't think of this as your life. Think of this as your life situation. And in any present life situation, there are only three things you can do. You can, let me think if I can remember them. You can decide you're dissatisfied and you want to make change. Oh, fuck. I'm going to fuck this up. we might have to take an enhancement pause.
Pause.
Listen to a little audible and then come back. Hit pause, Mike. Let's go smoke a joint. All right, we're back, and I'm less retarded now. So what he's saying in his book, Power of Now, is that when you are faced with a life situation that you do not like, you have three choices. You can think like you can identify what you can change, most likely about yourself in the situation. You can remove yourself from the situation, or you can surrender to the situation and just accept it as it is.
Yes, but that's speaking as a human individual. I think as a collective, we're at a different point in society where the world, like,
until we figure out how to handle ourselves as individuals, we're not going to win in collective.
No, but like, you can handle your domain around you and interface with the world as it is, and your presence is you. You can mitigate the way you run through this world. But Bonnie, yeah. But I have to think that certain people are better at predicting the future, right? And to me, what predicting the future...
What do you want to know?
Shut up, dude. Predicting the future is like, understand where you are, where the world is now, and where the world has been in the past, right? To form a straight points. Having one point of just now only shows you now. To figure out where this linear line goes in the future, you have to a little bit understand where it's been, where it is, and where to like predict where it will be. That's my whole I mean, that's Mike in a nutshell, right? It's like the better you can be you now is great. The more you can understand where you were and where the world was before you, better. You combine those two things, and that gives you a little bit of like you can't see it clearly. It's blurry up ahead, the road, but you know I can kind of see it looks like the road starts to bend. Right. And that's where I think humans are a unique thing, with the ability of imagination and the ability to say what might come of this. Right. If you're just like, I'm good, but everything is chaos around, like your bubble's good, but all the bubbles around you are chaos, that does you no good. Right. Because you're living in like ignorance. And that's where I think ignorance is bliss, right? I'm not saying these things happen and it fucks me over. I'm just saying it kind of like opens my eyes a little bit as to where the future goes. COVID happened. It's like lockdown and government authority. And it's like, well, that's not good. That's not going to lead to somewhere great. You know, that leads to bad things. And this just feels, like I said, like each side is fighting more and more and like drawing harder lines in the sand. And things like these are, like I said, these events, like they do shape and change the world. You know, say, because we never talk about World War II, if Pearl Harbor didn't happen, say maybe we didn't enter World War II the same way. Maybe we provided munitions and funds, but we didn't actually provide bodies on the ground. Yeah. And we were isolationists. And you're like, no, you guys figure this out. Say fucking Germany won. The world would have been a completely different place today than it is. So to me, it's like you have to play with that. That little mental masturbation of what can or could be is something that provides you the ability to be stronger tomorrow than you are today. Does that make sense? No. Tobin's taking a nap.
No, it doesn't not make sense. I'm just taking it all in.
Yeah. It's just...
It's what I feel like the importance of focusing on the present moment over the last, it wasn't like a instantaneous, like, blah, now you know it. It took 2 years.
Yeah.
It took 2 years.
No, it's the rest of your life.
I'm still going to be working on it and learning things from it and practicing it. But I see all of these political things. It's all fucking theater to get your nervous system activated.
It is. There's a lot of theater,
and so there's so many theories about it and what's going on, and I used to try to figure it out, and anymore I don't fucking care.
But doesn't eventually theater lead to your life?
Yes. Yeah. Yes. It may affect my, like, the reality is this chaos may escalate around me. It may even pull me into it at times. Yeah. Like it may directly affect me, but I can still only control one fucking person.
Okay.
And the only influence I can have on other people is by how I myself. So there's nothing I can outwardly do to change this situation. I can only be myself to the best of, like, be the best version of myself possible, and hope that affects, like, the fucking 8 people who are in close proximity to me.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah. Well, what if during the Revolutionary War, like, say people were just...
If I had been in charge, this should have been over in like 6 months.
Tea party.
Yeah.
It's a coffee party, bitches.
Right?
Yeah. But what if during that time people are like, I mean, I'm not going to do anything. Like, my own little bubble, I live in this thing, you know, and as long as I'm okay.
Oh, no, I'm not saying there may not be a time for action. There may very well be.
But those people eventually are like, this leads to a bad place.
I think what it is like, what you have to realize is time does exist, or I should say, like, the event stream does exist. It's part of it's life. We came here to experience.
I like
right?
that phrase, the event stream.
We are in the event stream. You are experiencing the event stream washing over you. Think of it that way instead of you, like, falling through time.
Yeah. But that stream keeps going. Like, you're in a raft, and you can't fight upstream.
Right.
Like, you can't.
But no matter how chaotic that stream gets, the only thing you can manage is internal.
It is.
That's literally, you can only manage yourself because that's where your actions come from. So if you're managing yourself well internally, your actions will be in alignment with, like, your core self, your true self, the things you believe and that are important to you. If you can manage yourself in those critical, shitty moments, whatever action you take, you won't have to feel ashamed of later, because it will be in alignment with you.
Don't feel any shame from it. Just trying to understand more where this stream keeps going.
But you also won't be an instigator, because
No,
you'll just be tuned, like, right. But so many people, like, why do all these people show up in downtown Seattle to throw rocks?
Oh my God.
Or even the people online. Like, think about the people who make an entire career of Instagram or YouTube of just inflaming this shit. That's their job. They're purposefully stoking that fire because that's how they get likes and traffic, and that's how they pay their bills.
Well, that's something I like about what we do here is, like, I feel like we don't really instigate one way or another. Like, it's fun to me to talk about all
For promoting anything, it's drug abuse.
No, drugs are bad. Okay. But it's fun to.
You're right. Abuse is we're promoting drug use, not abuse, drug use.
But it's fun to just be like, where does this go? It doesn't consume, or it doesn't shatter me. Like, I still go to work. It doesn't affect what my goals are.
How deep down the rabbit hole do you want to go?
Keep going.
All right, buddy. Full send. So you'll recognize this from talking to Tyler 2 years ago, or fuck, have we been podcasting for 3 years?
Going on it, baby.
Going on 3 years? Okay. When your attention, the real golden nugget in the world is not money, it's not cash, it's not physical goods. It's your attention and your awareness. That is where your life force energy comes from. And it's why money is a token of your attention and awareness times time.
Yeah.
Right? So really, money has no value. I can pull a $20 bill out of my pocket and a $100 bill. They're the same fucking piece of paper. One just has a different number written on it, and we accept and consent that the one with the lower number is worth less somehow. You can get fewer steaks at the grocery store for that one. The golden nugget is your awareness and your attention. So when your awareness and your attention are stuck in fight or flight, then that is like you have an aura, right? Like you have an electrical current that runs through your body. It's created by think like a sorry, getting sidetracked here. Think a pacemaker can reorient your heartbeat, right? Which tells you that your heart is electromagnetic. So you have this electromagnetic current, this beat, this frequency that runs through you. That is your frequency, right? That's your heart rate. There's other parts of it too.
Attention.
Oh,
what you put
attention
into.
and awareness.
Yeah.
Right. So if your attention and awareness is in these lower fear, fight or flight, anger, like you're looking at this video, regardless of what side you're on, of the woman getting shot through a car windshield, and you're like, fuck these police or fuck these activists that show up. You are putting off that emanation. Like, what is a thought? A thought is an electromagnetic pulse that starts in your brain and emanates out and can affect even like your motor.
Yeah.
Your motor skills.
Yeah.
Right. So I can have the thought, pick up this beer and take a sip because it's delicious with pickle juice in it.
That deserves the most attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. That was an electromagnetic process.
Yeah.
And one of the things that Nikola Tesla discovered is that every electromagnetic current, while it is changing, not while it's constant, but it's in its like expansion and contraction, gives off radiation.
Yeah.
So every thought you have gives off radiation. So are you radiating anger and discontent? Like, you know it. Like, think when you walk into a room, like, and you know that a tense conversation is like right in progress, and you walk in, you're like, oh, fuck, sorry. Because you felt it.
Yeah.
You felt the radiation, that electromagnetic signal of that density of emotion. So what all of this shit is doing is sucking you into these lower density emotions, lower vibrations, lower densities, and trapping you there. And it feeds, like, I believe there is a system in place that feeds off of those lower vibrations.
But can't you?
It's like every time you're stuck in your anger and your fight or flight, anger and fear, you are feeding a giant battery that draws off of you. And that's why that is why those feelings leave you so empty, like you're exhausted. If you spend your entire day, like, think if you spend your entire day, you road rage on your way into work in the morning for an hour and a half, and then you're on a construction site where everything's fucked up and everything's behind schedule and everybody's an idiot, and then you're fucking fight or flight back into bumper to bumper traffic for another 2 hours. You're just living in anger and fear. Even if it's like very low grade, you're like, no, I'm like a happy guy. I get along with everybody at work. Most people, like, that is true, but also like the underlying current of everything is anger and fear. And that just feeds that battery and leaves you. That's why you feel so fucking depleted after 15 years of that.
But can't you just be an observer too? Like, I watch tons.
So that is the key.
Yeah.
When you become the observer of yourself, then you start to become independent of that. And you can start, like, that's what I was saying, where I had separated my nervous system from my mind. So that as my mind was getting angry at this dog about an event that never fucking happened, then I was like, wait a minute, why is my nervous system reacting to this? So now, if you can witness actions, at some point you're going to learn how to kind of guide them.
Yeah.
And if you can maintain yourself in a relaxed state of nerve, then I think that's when you sort of unlock your creative. Like, you become almost like unstoppable.
Well, I've been saying I'm unstoppable for years, but yes, finally we're recognizing it. But isn't that the point, though? It's like,
I think they even wrote that on the restraining order.
It won't stop me. But isn't that the point though, is to like, think about like, I watch World War II stuff and it's like, oh, the Holocaust, and you see all these people dying, and it's not like, oh, goddamn Germans. You know, it's just like, holy shit, people were crazy. Look at what the fuck human beings can do. You know, and it's not like I'm angry at the Nazis. You know, I wasn't alive. I wasn't there. All these events happened. Am I mad at Genghis Khan? Am I mad at Napoleon? It's like, no, I don't.
I'm
mad at Napoleon.
what do you call it? I'm introducing a bill. I want reparations for the Irish potato famine.
Your people?
Yeah, I want a check.
Oh, dude,
Listen, $10 million. I'll never talk about potato famine again.
$10 million.
$8 million, Mike.
When was the last time you watched Gangs in New York?
It's the first time.
You never watched Gangs in New York?
Is this
with Leo and?
I was thinking this is like some series.
Oh no!
I've watched.
I mean, it would probably be a good YouTube.
I'm sure
series.
I watched it in Iraq. So 15 years.
I forgot how much Bill the Butcher was like a nationalist. He was like born in the United States.
I should rewatch that. It would probably hit pretty good right now.
Yes and no. The fight scene, like with you watch John Wick and then you watch Gangs in New York, and you're like,
what the fuck?
This is shit.
All right, homos, go home.
Yeah, I could beat all these guys. But you watch it and like, it was all about like Bill the Butcher hated the Irish. He's like, oh, these Irish goddamn immigrants. Like, we're the first people. We're we are the true Americans. And it is interesting, like, because I haven't seen that movie in forever. But watching that, it made me kind of think about like the same type of thing is happening. These people are invading our country, and people are like, they took our jobs. Yeah. Exactly. But it's the same type of thing that constantly goes over and over. And it doesn't mean that it's good or it's bad that it's happening. It's just, this is a natural thing that's happened forever. You think the Native Americans, when the white man showed up, was like, hey, immigrants. Yeah. Bring them in. They were like, brother, fuck, these guys are taking over our land. And this is something that's happened throughout time, you know? And so for me, it's like, it's just interesting to see these markers. It doesn't like fuck your life over. Or for me personally, it's like, I'll probably be okay. You know what I mean? I'll probably make it through this, dude. I got a podcast.
Yeah. Bro, independent Republic of Granite Falls is going to become a reality.
But still doing so, there had to have been Indians when the white man was coming over that was like, this probably isn't good. You know? It's like, yes, I still live in a village and I have my people, but these events that are happening, probably not the best.
I bought a pair of moccasins at Walmart.
Yeah.
That was some cheap shit.
Those aren't moccasins, dude. That's made by a Chinese. Dude, do you know the thought I had the other day? Remember as a kid when you were getting Happy Meals and it would come with a toy?
Yeah.
And that toy would say...
you know what Happy Meals really were? Disappointment. You know what I mean? Like, the commercial always made it look like it was so cool, and you were like, oh, fuck yeah. I have been working on my mom for 9 days to get this fucking Happy Meal, and she's finally saying yes, and it's going to be so awesome. And then you actually get the thing, and it's like fucking some stupid chintzy bullshit, and you're like, what the fuck? What the fuck?
Yeah, but that's what I mean.
I have emotional scarring.
No, think of it.
Mike.
Think of a Happy Meal back in the 90s, and it comes with a toy, right? And you're like, cool, I got this new cool toy.
No, you're heartbroken.
No.
Because it wasn't the real Transformer. It was the one that had no joints. That didn't. It was like just the solid rubber one. You're like, this is fucking stupid.
When you're 3 years old, you're still retarded. And you're like, this chintzy Transformer is awesome. But it would come with a toy, right? And you would flip that toy over and it said made in China. And then I had to think, like, that toy made in China was probably made by a slave labor kid. So some kid
thinking about this at that age?
Well, I was thinking about this yesterday.
Oh, okay.
So when you get that McDonald's Happy Meal,
let's go get a Happy Meal,
and it comes with a toy, you flip that toy over, it says made in China. That toy was probably made by some child slave labor. Yeah. And so he's looking.
You were aware of that as a kid?
A little bit. But think of that kid making that toy. And he's like, this is fucking awesome. I wish I had this toy. Just ships it off to you, dude.
Yeah. Holy fuck.
Like it comes full circle.
I'll go eat my cup of rice.
Yeah, dude. Could you imagine being like, I wish I had toys. What's your job? I make toys for white kids.
Yeah.
Huh. But, well, that's neither here nor there. But the important thing is, well, as important as it can be, I think these things, like, it is good to reflect on these moments. You know, it shouldn't consume you. It shouldn't devastate you. But it's like, that is culture. You're feeling the shift in the wind. To understand what culture is, I think, is higher elevated thought. You know, to just know who you are is, yes, to know who you are is great. But to know who you are in where you sit with the people around you and how the people around you interact with the people around them is kind of a good thing too. Because it's like, okay, so say you had, yes, I'm completely happy and stuff and I'll just hang out with anyone. Say you're hanging out with a bunch of people that are doing nefarious acts. Ooh, you're hanging out with murderers. You're hanging out with drug dealers. But people that like enslave people. And you're like, oh, that's just Uncle Bill. You know, he's Uncle Pol Pot. He's a cool guy. He gets me a cool toy at Christmas. You know, but it is important to, I think, kind of like, isn't understanding the reality around you kind of like a unique thing about human beings?
Okay.
Yeah. But that has given us the ability to like understand where things are going, where it leads. Like that's what you want out of a good coach, right? It's like you're here with your whatever sport you're doing. We can get you to this next place, right? We can make you a little better, but you have to see it too. Like you have to have a vision of what comes next. And as a citizen and like what's happening in the world around you, I think it is important to be like a little bit what comes next. Because what comes next could be Nazi Germany, or what could come next is hunting rifles and sex robots.
Oh.
Yeah. Oh, nice. Yeah.
Thinking about that.
But I think like these things that hit, you know, like think about 9/11. How much did it fucking affect your life? And at the time, it's just like those fucking terrorists, we're going to get them. But it's like, oh, in retrospect, if I could have been a little bit more chill, if I could have thought back about what this might imply in the future, why are they mad at us? I knew when 9/11 happened, I knew Russia and Afghanistan kind of fought, but I didn't know why or what it meant or what it led to or that it got them hardened to fight the Americans of 2002. I think these things are interesting. And like I said, you can't go in a straight line without 2 points, you know? And so, yes, some people, they'll take these things and it's divisive and it collapses them. I have family members that are hardcore left and they're like, they're crying and bleeding everywhere. And then you got friends that are like hardcore right. And he's like, these lefties. And it's like, Dave said it the best after the last rifleman camp. He goes, it's the same coin with opposite faces. You know? Jesus Christ, dude.
Bonnie.
Actually, so we should talk about awareness right now.
So
what's
coins.
going on? Something bad's happening.
How's your microbiome, bro?
Yeah, pretty much.
It's active.
But these things, can you imagine? Yeah. This is our conversations. But these things do kind of matter because, like I said, they are events. Like you can be the master of your own domain, Seinfeld, but the world does happen no matter what. As much as you can ostrich it or you can accept it or you can do whatever, but
Yeah, I think we are in the event stream, and it's just a test of how you handle it.
yeah.
It's like a obstacle course.
But isn't this a good thing to do during that? Like, how many people just get, I can't talk to him. I can't talk to him.
Yeah.
He is the problem.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Yeah.
what
Oh
the
my God.
fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Like, let's talk. There's all kinds of different opinions.
Another important concept is that relationships are mirrors.
Yeah.
And so if a person in your life makes you really fucking angry
Yeah.
over and over and over again, that is your opportunity to address what is going on in yourself that makes you so angry.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yes, and a lot of people do just shut because they don't know. We haven't been taught these things were not passed on.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do just shut down because they don't know what else to do, and so they do that. Like, I can't be around that person because fuck them. They trick me. They make me so angry. Blah blah blah. But really, what they are doing is they are holding up an intense mirror,
Yeah.
and that is why they can't stand to be around that person.
I do feel like, yeah. Because that's what they always say. When someone yells at you, it's like, it's not because of what you did. It's like, it's what happened 2 days ago.
And that is what I'm saying, where that person who's yelling, they're not aware of what their nervous system felt in the moment.
Yeah.
So something triggered means activated your nervous system. That's what it means.
Yeah.
So I don't know, somebody says something to you that quote unquote triggers you. What that means is your nervous system just got activated, and now you are bypassing logic and going into fight or flight.
Yeah.
And now you're just going to react and do something stupid.
So let's take that one step further. So for these people that lead us in the world, our politicians, all these people, what do you think makes them be like, I'm this guy or I'm that? Because Trump was a Democrat his entire life until he's like, I can win.
Yeah.
I'll go Republican.
Yeah. Trump was a Democrat, and Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton were neocons.
Yeah.
It's all one fucking program.
Yeah.
It's not, it's so, nobody actually pays attention to policy and like execution of policy, because if they did, they would see it's just the same program.
But that's
it's
what
the same fucking agenda. The team name, Democrat or Republican, changes hands.
Yeah.
But they're both working on the same playbook. They're both pulling the same. It's all empire. It's empire.
So if you were only like, oh, Trump is a Republican and he hates, are we overtime? Are we even recording? I'm recording in my head.
It says it has limited space remaining.
Pause. We still going?
We got 3 minutes, Mike. 3 minutes to wrap this bitch up. There's not going to be an intro of Podcast America. You're going to have to do without it. Episode 109.
You almost went Trump there.
We almost. My Trump sounds like John F. Kennedy from Massachusetts.
I know, you kind of.
Yeah, it's kind of like, I'm kind of like JFK Trump.
Clam chowder.
Clam chowder. Chowder.
Well, I don't know. I think it's important.
We have the greatest PT boats.
PT boats. Okay.
PT 109.
Okay, hang on.
Fantastic story.
No more of this talk. We'll go even better. We see that Russian oil tanker, and then Russia said today they give the authority to shoot torpedoes at what are the boats that protect? Like the little battleship guys.
Dobermans.
Doberman. The most beautiful dog.
Yeah. Cruisers?
Yeah, something like that. But he gave the ability.
Frigates.
Yes. Putin said launch missiles.
Oh, no shit.
Launch torpedoes specifically. It's heating up, baby.
It's going down. All right, Podcast America. No intro. Thanks for listening, guys.
Later.